as you know, I've been struggling with COVID, and I thank you for praying me up and out of it. Although, I don't know, maybe you can tell my lungs are telling me I'm not quite in the clear. Being a quadriplegic, it was so hard to breathe, especially at night in bed. And when I was told I had COVID, I thought, this is a death sentence. But my disability had already taught me how to carry even this cross. For when I trusted him to see me through, even if it did, yes, mean death, when I gave it all up to him, I could feel God take gentle, firm possession of this strange affliction and begin to do a work in me. It was as though the Lord pressed me. Johnny, do you believe me that I will never leave you or forsake you? That I am your ever-present help in this trouble? That doubting me only makes things worse? Do you believe my grace is sufficient, whether I take you home or assign you to remain? Do you trust me? And in the dark, in bed, I cried out, yes, Lord, I believe. And then in the ensuing hours and days, I felt this wonderfully odd calmness and almost indifference to how much it might hurt or how it would end. And I felt perfectly still under the hand of God. He pulled me close into a shelter, and I felt myself resting in the shadow of the Almighty, and it felt blessed. G.D. Watson once wrote, he said, when the suffering soul reaches a calm, sweet carelessness, when it can inwardly smile at its own suffering and not even ask to be delivered, then it works its blessed ministry. Then the cross you carry begins to weave itself into a crown. When we give our suffering over to God and sink ourselves into His will, He will make every pain work its divine purpose in our lives. I trust my words are helpful to you today. If your suffering is to you a complete mystery, I pray you'll embrace God with willful thanks, finding hope in your hardships. Oh, and one more thing. While in the ER receiving first-class care from a hospital that doesn't know Johnny, I looked around and I kept shaking my head, thinking of the millions of people with disabilities here in the U.S. and around the world who lack that kind of access to medical care, and even worse, who don't know Jesus. And so I can't keep this message to myself. Please, won't you help me share it with thousands of other people who are suffering, especially people with disabilities? And will you join me and the Joni and Friends team in helping other people with disabilities find this hope in Jesus? Help them weave their cross into a crown.